What's up, everyone? All right, so midday market recap is back. Well, I haven't done them in a little while. I've been doing my recaps a little bit more kind of during the morning show. I'll talk about the previous day, which you guys may have noticed. We have just finished up our winter school program, which is perfect timing because first day of spring was on Saturday, and the weather's getting warm. And you can see behind me, I'm working on making some maple syrup. This has been my spring project, and it's been going pretty well. So today I traded, made about $18,000 this morning, which was fantastic. I was up 21,000, but gave back 3,000 off the top, and now I'm gonna spend the rest of the day out here working on this. If I'm lucky today, I'll get maybe four gallons of syrup. It's about $400 of syrup at $100 a gallon. But it's worth it. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it, and it keeps me out of the office. So one of the things that I mentioned during the recap is knowing when to walk away. It's so hard to know when to walk away, and it's certainly possible, since it's only about noontime, that there's something that has made a huge move in the last 15 minutes, or that will make a huge move later in the day, and I'll miss it. But that's okay. What I have done today with 18,000 is enough. Being able to remind yourself that this is enough and to take it off the table and put it in your pocket is such an important lesson. So I hope you guys enjoy this recap. We'll break down the trades from today. A little bit of a choppy morning, not super strong pre-market. Things picked up for me more after the bell rang and we got a red to green move. But in any case, we'll talk about it. We'll break it down. And as always, questions, comments, leave them right down below. And I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. And as a reminder, as always, in case you didn't already know, trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money. So do yourself a favor and practice the strategies you're learning in a simulator before you put real money on the line. And with that, let's jump into today's recap. All right, so let's get into it here. We're going to do a midday market recap during summer school, but also during winter school. Since the routine each day was trading and then right into classes, I wasn't in the regular habit of doing recaps. What kind of seemed to make more sense was just to sort of do the recap the next day of this is what I did yesterday as part of the morning show, which works, but we'll do a little recap today. So I'm finishing up $18,004.00. Now, if I press one button and I flip to my my main account. So I've got a retirement account and a main account. So this gain here today is in my retirement account, which is good because that means it's no income tax on it, which is terrific. So I was just encouraging those of you guys in the chat room to post how you did today, and I'm seeing a bunch of you guys posting. One person says, I'm red and I'm embarrassed to post. Don't be embarrassed. This is part of learning to trade, and the community's here to support you. Some of you guys are posting some nice green trades, though, as well. A variety of sim and also real money accounts. So all in all, looks like we had a decent start to the week. And so I'm up 18,000, and the main stock that I traded was SPRT. 13,000 of profit on that, and then a little bit on these other two. So the thing with, and here's girl. Hi, girl. So the thing today that I kind of struggled with a little bit was not knowing which one was sort of the obvious one. SPRT pre-market was really choppy. As you guys saw from my pre-market trades during the morning show, it was kind of like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. I made a little, then I lost a little. I was down 600 on my first trade, then I was up, and then I was, I think, back red. I don't remember by how much exactly now, but it's amazing how trading sometimes leads to short-term memory loss, where it's like I can't even really remember exactly, but it all happens so fast, and you're so in the zone. And if you're, if you're not focusing on the P&L, that's actually a good thing. So in any case, this was SPRT pre-market. So it was our leading gapper, but it was awfully choppy. I mean, it was really quite choppy. So you can see this is our gap scan here.
So SPRT leading gapper, gapping up 272%. That's a huge gap. Second leading gapper, DYAI, up 52%, which you can see I traded, but only made 1,300 on. And then the third stock I traded, STON, was on our halt scanner down here. So I'll show you that one in a second as well. But yeah, so SPRT is the one that I traded the most, and got some trades on it pre-market, but it really was choppy. It wasn't super easy. And then the bell rings, and it just, it pops up for a second and then just flushes hard. So through this area, we got a attempt at the break through the VWAP right here. I did take that trade. It didn't hold and it flushed back down. It was a green trade because I got in early enough and it did hold for a second. I took some profit and then it flushed. Comes back down to this yellow trend line. In the classes, of course, I talk about how I draw these trend lines, and you can see that they are, I find, quite valid. So this was support here, and I had this drawn pre-market. So I don't think I took a dip trade off of this level down here. Usually below VWAP, I try to be a little bit more cautious there, but anyways, it rips through the VWAP, rips up to 820, and we get a 1 minute micro pullback right here. Of course, I trade through this whole area, squeezes up to 875, pulls back, pops up, pulls back, rips through 875, 860, 75, up to 9, up to 947. And this was where I made the bulk of my profit on SPRT. Just trading in and out of this range, buying the dips, selling on the pullback, or selling on the rips, then buying the next dip, adding into breakouts and stuff like that. My last trade was a loss right here. I was up 21,000 and lost 3,000 on this trade right here. I didn't buy the high. I actually bought a dip, but it just went lower and I had to take the loss on it. And this is where it sits right now. And I'm trying to do the smart thing of take the money off the table. I saw a student post that they were green today, and I know that student had a red day yesterday. And what I was thinking to myself is, man, I hope you take that off the table and you don't overstay your welcome. And I thought, well, then put your money where your mouth is. Lead by example. You do that. So I'm taking the money off the table. I think it's the right move here. All things considered, this was a choppy morning. It was super choppy. I mean, it was like SPRT and then DYAI. This one was choppy as well. It was choppy pre-market, and then it kind of ripped into the open and then dropped down and then ripped back to the highs and then false breakout and flushed back to the low. Not clean at all. Stone, no news, halts going up, and right here it does a perfect bull flag. I didn't trade it because I thought it has no news. I don't think it makes sense, but it rips, and then I bought the micro pullback at 478, 480, and I think I sold, and then I added back for the break of 5, and we ended up getting a move on this all the way up to 537. So made $3,400 on that. Again, not bad. Tries to get back above the VWAP, can't do it. It's coming back down now. So all things considered, I think this is a perfectly reasonable time of day to take some money off the table. And actually, the weather is this is like perfect weather for making maple syrup. So I have my sugar maples tapped, and I'm going to go out, and this is me and my son will get a little more time today playing and working outside. And I've done my job here, came in, traded 3 stocks, green on 3 out of 3. It was a little choppy, but I got myself green, and it's 20 past 10 right now. And this is a perfectly good time to take it off the table and say, live to trade another day, and I'll be back tomorrow. Now, the fact is, I did not make back everything that I lost on Friday. That's not really important. It's not really good to look at it that way. I was down 26,000 on Friday. It's not. Sometimes you'll make it all back what you lose the next day, but more often that's not the case. And the better thing here is just to be, I think, disciplined about booking small gains. So what I had mentioned during the morning show was the fact that this year I went into the red over $150,000 in January. The first 2 weeks of January for me were brutal. These were the first 2 weeks right here. Brutal. And I can switch between gross and net in this platform, so I can see where it's at either way. But First 2 weeks of the year, of the month, terrible. Went down 150,000, a little over. The next 2 weeks, GameStop. Made $900,000 in this 1 week trading GameStop. It was the best week I've ever had. Then we went into February. First week of February, had a $268,000 red day on my birthday. Spent the next 3 weeks digging myself out of that hole. And I did. I actually dug myself out of the full hole and finished the month of February green. Green by, let's see. Well, it doesn't really matter. So anyways, green in February. And then March, I was saying to myself, the last thing I want is to lose $150,000 to $300,000 in the first 2 weeks of March. So take it slow. And I had a great start. 74,000, 2,600, red 5 grand, 74,000. Green, 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 down 26,000. This wasn't great. And on this day I was green and then I gave it back. So my P&L here, I was green here and by 15,000 and then went into the red. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, decent. And then here on Friday, I went red and then recovered half of it, which all things considered is good. I'm happy with that. So anyways, Monday's a green day here, the 22nd. It's not a home run, but the thing is, we just didn't, I don't know, SPRT, it was sort of a funny catalyst. You know, I just wasn't really sure about it. The catalyst was actually a merger, and I felt like that's a little weird that that's creating this big move. Usually a merger would not be, look, another false breakout right there. Usually a merger would not be the catalyst that we typically expect will result in a 300-400% move, but it did in this case. So anyways, that was SPRT. I wasn't really confident in it. It was choppy pre-market, and coming into the open, usually my best days, I'll have already hit my daily goal pre-market. And then as the bell rings, I'm going to keep trading and keep making money. So that wasn't the case. That just wasn't the case today. I didn't hit my daily goal pre-market. I struggled pre-market. The biggest moves were early from 2 to 9, and then it came into this period of being really choppy, and I sat down at like 8:15. So when I sat down here, maybe it was 8:30. I think it was 8:30. So when I sat down, it was already in this choppy zone. Friday, I got up at 7 a.m. to trade early and promptly lost $46,000 on my first trade. So that's why I was like, you know what, just Friday wasn't great. I don't think there's anything exciting, probably Monday morning. Don't bother getting up super early. But actually today it would have paid off. That's just the way it goes. You have to be consistent, I think, and either show up at 7 a.m. every day or whatever time you choose. That way you don't kick yourself for today's the one day I didn't. I think that's probably the better way to do it. And same goes for afternoon trading. You either always do it or you never do it. Look at that move from 8 to 9 to 10. Oh boy. Well, you know what? They're going to go with or without you. And I think it's easy to get FOMO looking at some of this stuff. But on the other hand, I don't know what the volume is on this. Let's see, JFIN. 3.7 million shares of volume. It's up 30%. I don't see any news. I think the important thing is to pay yourself and to put money in your pocket. Knowing when to walk away is very hard. That's a very big challenge for trading. And I think that many, many people struggle with that. It's overstaying your welcome, trading, too far into the day. And then in one trade, just like that, maybe you bought that for the break of 11 and now it's back at 1040. And just like that, you give back half your gains. And then you're like, man, why didn't I stop sooner? I've said that so many times. Why didn't I just stop sooner? On Friday, why didn't I just stop when I was green or when I was up only 5,000? Only 5,000. While that's not a huge day for me at this point, it's still a good day. So it's just, I don't know. It's just a challenge with trading. So as a reminder, as always, I'm going to put up my disclaimer here. Trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money. I struggled as a beginner. I was no exception to that. I wasn't like someone that just jumped into the market and was like, made $1 million, like, I don't know, overnight. I don't know that anyone, well, maybe people that traded GameStop or something, but That was not my experience, and I think it's not the common experience. So with that in mind, it's really important to focus on education. If you are going to trade with real money, to trade with really small share size, or the smarter thing is to trade in a simulator. But not everyone wants to do that because a simulator can't simulate the emotions. And so people sometimes just mess around and treat it differently. So some people prefer, especially with brokers now with no commissions, just trading 10 shares or something like that. Even though you're not going to make a lot of money, it just is a better simulation of the emotion in trading than a simulator that's just totally pretend money. In any case, however you do it, it's a good idea to save that big share size for the you, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the road, who, if you stick with it, will most likely know a lot more about the market than the you of today. So try to be smart about that. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to shut it down. I don't want to get FOMO. I don't want to sit and watch something like this and then convince myself to jump in, and then next thing you know, I'm giving back gains when I said I was done. That's one of the challenges with doing recaps, is that I'll do the recap and then I'm pulling up my charts and then I see something and then I start getting drawn back in. That's so some days I'll just say, you know what, I'm too susceptible today. I'm maybe not going to do the recap. I'll do it. I'll just do it as part of the morning show the next day, recap the previous day. But in any case, today felt good. So did that recap. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you first thing tomorrow morning. Of course, those on YouTube and Facebook, I'll upload this recap so you guys will see it. As a reminder to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You'll get a notification when I go live for the morning show in the morning. All right, so trade safe rest of the day, and I'll see you all first thing tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
And that right there was an entire video with no ads. I don't monetize my YouTube channel with video ads, which means you guys get to enjoy the content. But do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up and let YouTube know that this channel is the channel to watch if you want to learn about day trading.